From the narrative behind North Korea's Tower of Doom to this gigantic empty metropolis to the world's tallest abandoned building, did you know that London spent over $70 million on a planned bridge for tourists even though work never started? Let's take a deeper look at the top 5 mega projects never completed. As a result of its quick economic expansion, China has completed gigantic mega projects worthy of its rapid transformation. However, one of China's most famous ghost towns in Hubei province. Number 5. Global Initiative in Changyun. This development was supposed to contain European-style buildings, connecting bridges, fast parking, shopping complexes, and even towers. But in 2014, the project was halted due to a corruption investigation. Due to this, property values fell and the company went bankrupt. Near rail and subway terminals, the project's location was particularly convenient when work ceased. Traffic roars outside the district, yet inside it's a ghost town with only stray animals. The project was confiscated in 2017, and no further work was done on the land after that. The billions invested in the development are at risk of being lost as the buildings continue to deteriorate today. The location is practically a landmark for explorers who come here to take photos and are amazed that such a massive development could be left in its current state. Number 4. London Garden Bridge. London Garden Bridge is our next unfinished project. The Thames River, one of London's most renowned sites, was the site of a massive project in Europe. The city had planned to build a bridge that would act as a floating garden above the river. The project was first lobbied by actor Joanna Lumley, who came up with the idea of a garden bridge in the 1990s, a woodland, and its bang in the middle. It came from Temple Tube Station here until 2012, when the plans were finally unveiled. The 366-meter green bridge covered with trees and flowers at $85 million would connect the South Bank with the Temple area. The bridge was supposed to be open 18 hours a day and attract an estimated 3 million visitors per year. It was promised that the bridge would be funded entirely through private donations, with no public funds required. However, by 2015, the Garden Bridge Trust, the charity behind the project, revealed that the cost had risen to $260 million, with $85 million coming from public funds. This sparked a significant public outrage, and several media outlets slammed the decision. The project was chosen for its grandeur. According to reports, the bridge served no immediate function because it was built in an area with abundant bridges compared to other similar locations. This proposed bridge was significantly out of budget. For example, the 325-meter Millennium Bridge was built for only $25 million. In July 2016, the preparations came to a halt. By 2017, the expenses had escalated to about $280 million, and only $180 million had been secured at the time, pending a financial review. It would have taken at least 6 more years to ensure the funds required for the project. It was officially canceled in August 2017 after the review committee concluded it was best to cut its losses rather than go forward with the risky enterprise. According to the investigation, conversations were held with Apple to fund the project and name it the Apple Bridge if an agreement was reached. Still, Apple intended to construct a store on the site, which would go against the project's objective. The project was estimated to have cost $60 million. Most of that went to the contractor because a contract had already been signed, and another $12.5 million went to design expenditures. What has once labeled a gift to London suffered from financial uncertainty and a lack of transparency from the beginning. As a result, what was supposed to be a sustainable and scenic architectural icon evolved into a planning nightmare, costing millions before construction began. Number 3. Doha Bay Crossing, or Doha Shark Crossing. Under dubious circumstances, Qatar was given the right to host the 2022 FIFA World Cup in 2010. The dismissal and resignation of top FIFA officials came from intense pressure for a transparent investigation. Despite the backlash, Qatar moved forward with its preparations, which included several infrastructure projects, one of which was the Doha Bay Crossing, later renamed the Doha Shark Crossing. The project was first unveiled in 2013 and had a 12-kilometer-long crossing consisting of 3 bridges interconnected by long underwater tunnels. The crossing accommodated 6,000 vehicles per hour, allowing for smooth and quick traffic flow between the West Bay Area and Hamad International Airport. Low oil prices and an overworked construction sector were cited as primary causes for the engineering project's cancellation, which was disclosed less than 2 years after it was planned. Due to the economic strain and a stretched labor market, the government postponed all non-essential mega-projects, one of which was the Shark Crossing. After a 4-year delay, the project was revisited in December 2019 when Qatar's Public Works Authority invited local contractors to brief them on the plans to restart the crossing. Companies were encouraged to develop worldwide alliances with the building set to begin by the end of 2020. In 2020, Qatar announced a $140 billion budget dedicated to completing its mega projects, so there's hope that construction will resume in 2021. However, even if construction does begin, the Doha Shark Crossing will take at least 4 years to complete, putting the completion date well beyond the World Cup in 2022. Number 2. Yyang Hotel. On the list, we have a significant project from North Korea, which is a surprising inclusion given the country's history of reluctance to welcome foreign visitors, particularly from the West. To this day, only state-guided tours of the country are permitted and journalists cannot travel there. Despite this, North Korea once planned to house thousands of international guests in a 105-story pyramid-shaped hotel, which would have been the world's tallest hotel. The project was conceived as a result of North Korea's direct rivalry with South Korea, which was just transitioning into a capitalist democracy instead of the communist regime in the north. A South Korean firm had just built the world's tallest hotel in Singapore. North Korea wanted to take that achievement away. Hence, construction on their Yyang Hotel began in 1987 with financial backing from Russia, standing at 330 meters. 5 revolving restaurants with panoramic views of Pyongyang skyline were to be housed in a cone near the summit of the pyramid-shaped edifice. The Soviet Union fell apart in December 1991, and the funding for the project dried up. The project was suspended in 1992, and no progress was made for the next 16 years, during which time the hollow concrete structure became known as the Hotel of Doom. In 2008, an Egyptian business took up the project and put in a glass front and LED lights. Further engineering concerns prevented the continued construction work, and the building was vacant once more. Still, it came to life once more for $180 million. 10 years later, in 2018, when the LEDs on the exterior found a new use, the building is now lit constantly with Korean history and other government messages displayed on it. However, projections suggest that the hotel will cost $2 billion to complete 5% of North Korea's GDP. So, despite the stops and starts, this concrete mountain will never be completed. The Yyang Hotel is currently listed by Guinness World Records as the world's tallest unoccupied building. Our final mega project on the list may still threaten that record. Number 1. Golden Finance 117. In this video, we return to China, where one of the tallest skyscrapers remains unoccupied. Golden Finance 117, which began construction in 2008 to surpass the Shanghai Tower to become the world's second highest skyscraper, after Burj Khalifa has been completed in Dubai. The basement of the tower was finished in 2012, and it reached a height of 597 meters in September 2015. That's when the project's developer apparently went bankrupt, and development was put on hold. In 2018, there were attempts to resume construction. However, those efforts froze quickly, and no one has taken up the project since then. The tower has attracted a few climbers who have attempted to scale the unoccupied structure. In 2016, a Russian couple climbed to the top and even mounted the crane left at the very top of the system. An order from Beijing in April 2020 could have been the final nail in the coffin for Golden Finance 117. The government has outlawed towers of more than 500 meters, and it appears that this gigantic structure will never be completed. What do you think about these projects? Do you know any similar projects that were never finished? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe to this channel for more exciting videos. Thanks for watching.